Habit number 1, the instant phone check. If the first thing you touch in the morning is your phone, you have already lost. You've surrendered your entire day to the agenda of other people. Think about it. Before your mind has even processed the transition from sleep, you willingly hand over your focus, your emotional state, and your priorities to the digital world. You check an email from your boss, a notification from a news cycle, or a comparison post on social media. In an instant, you shift from being proactive, deciding how you will shape the day, to reactive, simply responding to what the world throws at you. This is psychological sabotage. You are starting your day in a state of subordination. You are training your brain to seek external validation and external urgency before tapping into its own internal reserves. Be ultra successful, know that the first 60 minutes of the day are the most valuable, expensive block of time you possess. They don't waste it cleaning up the mess of yesterday's incoming traffic. For example, high-level CEOs, the ones who truly run their companies, not just manage them, like to talk about the power of the internal check-in. They reserve the first hour for deep creative thinking, for reading, or for exercise. Jeff Bezos famously avoids making difficult decisions before 10 a.m., dedicating his mornings to what he calls high IQ meetings and strategic thought. Why? Because checking a flurry of non-critical messages first thing in the morning floods your system with cortisol, the stress hormone, telling your body, alert, respond, danger. This chemical spike destroys creative flow and deep focus for hours. The fix is simple, but it requires discipline. You must establish a mental defense perimeter. Buy an actual alarm clock. Leave your phone outside the bedroom. Instead of checking in with the world, check in with yourself. Spend 5 minutes setting an internal agenda. Your one crucial task for the day, your gratitude for the moment, or simply silence. Eliminate the instant phone check and you reclaim ownership of your first thought. Now, if you are finding yourself nodding along, realizing you're guilty of these habits, then you already know the price of toxic routine. You are one of the strong ones, the ones willing to look at the truth and make the cut. Don't let this wisdom just pass you by. Hit that subscribe button now. Join the inner circle where we prioritize ruthless self-improvement and quiet domination. We cut the clutter, we keep the currency. Most people confuse motion with progress. They feel a compulsive need to do something, anything, as soon as they hit the office chair or open their laptop. They immediately dive into the cluttered email inbox, clear the easiest tasks, or answer the most recent text message. This gives them a rush of false productivity, a feeling of being busy. But being busy is often just a sophisticated form of procrastination. The world, and specifically your environment, is designed to generate fake urgency. Every notification, every email, every urgent request is manufactured by someone else who is attempting to prioritize their needs over yours. The rich, the leaders, the ones who execute long-term vision operate exclusively in the quadrant of important, not urgent. Think about your morning. What takes up your time? Is it an email chain that requires a quick reply? Urgent, not important? Or is it 1 hour of focused work on the project that will transform your financial future? Important, not urgent. The secret weapon here is the deep work block. Instead of starting with what's urgent, start with your one critical, non-negotiable, difficult task for the day. This is the eat the frog principle, but applied to your morning, when your cognitive energy is highest and least diluted. The successful utilize the Eisenhower matrix not as a theory, but as a morning ritual. They focus on quadrant 2 activities: planning, learning, and relationship building. They understand that a moment spent on a quadrant 2 activity this morning saves them 10 hours of quadrant 1, urgent important, firefighting next week. By tackling the hardest, most important task first, you inject a sense of unshakable momentum into your day. You shift your mental programming from feeling like you're constantly playing catch up to knowing you are actively moving the needle. When you finish that one important thing before others even finish their first cup of coffee, the rest of the day becomes easier. Do not be a servant to other people's deadlines. Be the master of your own monumental task. Quietly eliminate the need to appear busy. This is perhaps the most insidious habit because it is internal, personal, and rarely spoken aloud. It's the first internal dialogue that sets the emotional tone for the next 12 hours. It sounds like this: ugh, I have to go to work. I hate Mondays. Why does nothing ever work out for me? When you initiate your day with this kind of complaining, you are voluntarily scripting yourself as the victim of your own life. You are telling your brain that the day ahead is a series of unavoidable punishments, not a canvas of opportunities. This negative self-talk is scientifically proven to affect your neurochemistry. Starting the day rehearsing your sad story spikes your cortisol levels even further, making you less creative, less resilient, and more prone to seeking emotional comfort, like junk food or social media scrolling. The people who dominate their fields do not allow themselves the luxury of self-pity, especially in the morning. They practice what's called pre-paving. They proactively determine the best possible outcomes for the day and deliberately choose their emotional state. Instead of saying, I have to sit in traffic, they reframe it. I get to commute and listen to an audiobook that improves my skills. Instead of, I have to deal with my difficult coworker, it becomes, I get to practice my patience and leadership in a challenging environment. Negative self-talk is not just a mood. It's a low-frequency broadcast you send out to the universe, and the universe happily echoes it back to you. The strong know that the power is in the reframe. They swap the vocabulary of victimhood, which focuses on what you can't control, for the vocabulary of ownership, which focuses on their response and effort. Stop tolerating yourself as a victim of circumstance. Rewrite the script from a tragedy to a privilege. This quiet shift is the loudest statement you will ever make about your own future. The masses chase after new productivity apps, new planners, and new morning routines to add to their schedule. The successful focus on subtraction. They understand that their peace, their focus, and their energy are the most expensive currencies they possess. And every time you tolerate one of these deadly habits, the instant check, the fake urgency, or the victim narrative, you are draining that currency. Success doesn't come from constantly grinding. It comes from protecting the environment your mind and soul live in. Today, stop waiting for permission. Stop worrying about who gets offended when you choose yourself. Eliminate quietly, rebuild silently, and watch how your life transforms so powerfully, it scares the people who thought they knew you. A master sculptor is defined not by the clay they add, but by the marble they ruthlessly carve away. Your life is the same. Start carving. Go handle it.